Welcome to Podtendo, a Nintendo podcast, where they analyze, reminisce, and replay the glory of old Nintendo games. Hey guys, welcome back to the Podtendo podcast, where we analyze, reminisce, and replay the glory of old Nintendo games. We can be contacted on email us. Send us an email, podtendo@gmail.com. Left a comment on the YouTubes. That's how you would probably communicate with us. I'm your co-host, Mick. I'm joined by
Tyson.
Cool. Awesome. And welcome back as we slowly go through the celebration of doing 150 numbered shows, or podcasts at least. So we've definitely done more podcasts, but we've done kind of like official little shows where we have kind of beginning, tell you about the pop culture, talk about the game, talk about the endings. So we are here slowly celebrating today as we finish up kind of a dual show. We've got the second half of Chrono Trigger, so we're going to do part 2, kind of get through this experience, and then we're going to do a self-fulfilling retrospective of shows 100 to 150. Huh. We've said that. Yeah. We've said that we've kind of got into like a slog a little bit harder to get to. We're like, oh, why we tortured ourselves. So we're going to find out exactly how we tortured ourselves. And we're going to be like, actually, we played a lot of quality games. I don't know why we're so harsh on ourselves.
Yeah, I think it's usually the bad games that stand out as you're like, why did we play that game particularly? But I think there's a lot of gems in there. We try to always mix it up.
Awesome.
Every so often, you just kind of roll the dice and get a bad one.
And I did discover something fun that we're going to make fun of Tyson when it comes to making a top 10 list. So pretty big day. Pretty big day here on the Podtendo podcast as we get a second part of part 150. So I don't know how that works. Is 150 one show, 2 shows? Who knows? If I throw a part, it just means it's one. That's, I just break it up into continuity, this crazy continuity. So Chrono Trigger. So last time we played through the first part of the game. Yeah, it kind of looks like, honestly, we just kind of dive into these notes, right? A little bit bland. Initially, when we did this game, early on, it was like in our 20s. Like this, no, we were, well, maybe I was in my 20s. Oh, that's, no. Oh, yeah, I guess. Oh, my gosh. That's, anyways. Yeah. So when we did the show initially, we kind of dove into it. So that's kind of it. Vital stats, Chrono Trigger. Is anything you need to talk about at the top of the show?
No, I'm good. I haven't played this game in a little while, so my memory may be a little foggy because I kind of like rallied through this game because I had a bunch of time on my hands. Now I have less time on my hands because I knew that was coming. So I'm like, I better get this done. So.
Cool. All right. Well, I've learned some stuff. I've taken some time and went back recently and kind of jumped into this because I actually took a break and then got back into it. So I'll kind of run as our DM, give us a bit more backstory, and we'll go from there. So Chrono Trigger. It was originally released August 22nd, 1995. Although I think it was like earlier because I think we just passed the date. Whatever date that pulled. It's coming up. 30 years. Pretty exciting, almost from this podcast. If only we held out a month, darn it. On the PS1, it was released June 19th, 2001, with a cool, actually, double feature, double disc with Final Fantasy IV. Pretty cool little collection there.
Yeah, that's a gem right there.
And then on
some Final Fantasy IV.
And Chrono Trigger. That's it on your PlayStation. What a glorious day June 30th, 2001 could have been for you. DS, November 24th, 2008. So a little bit longer. How Long to Beat has this game at 23 hours. My playtime was way under that. Holy smokes. On eBay, current price, at least when I wrote the notes years ago, $314. What? That's ridiculous. From there, though, we jump into the controls for some reason. Dual attacks. Did we not get to the dual attacks in the first part of the game?
Thought we did. Pretty sure we did.
Well, they're like right off the beginning. Like as soon as you get magic, you can start doing them, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I think we spoke at nauseum about like the dual attacks and how do you get magic. So
okay, yeah. And again, old set of notes we're working with. Let's see what happens. Can't say enough good things about the lack of random encounters. It's true. Moving around dungeons, see some enemies, and you can like hug the walls and like skip it, and you're like, well, that's kind of pleasant. I don't know if you can play this game with random encounters. They're just terrible. How do they work in Secret of Mana? Similar to this, right? Like you can kind of see the little guys jumping around before you attack them.
Yeah, but I feel like the map's terrible, so you can't really avoid a lot of encounters.
Oh, I see. If there's like a bunny on a path, you basically it's a fixed point of fixed battle. You can't really escape it. Whereas here, he's a bit more flexibility moving around. Okay, all right, cool, neat. So with that, I guess we can jump back into the game, back into Chrono Trigger. Tyson needs a recap though. Does maybe everyone else needs a recap? I think we're gonna do. I have a first memory section and it's blank. So why don't I give you kind of a rough and dirty timeline of the world? Then we'll jump into the game, what we played last time, before carrying on with our adventure today. Yeah, that works. All right. So in this world of Chrono Trigger, in the year 60 million BC, there's a tribe of humans and there's a tribe of reptilian creatures that are at war with each other. Just when it looks like the reptilians might have the upper hand to be able to squash the human foes, a rock from the sky called Lavos crashes into the stronghold, essentially eradicating the stronghold and the reptilian creatures' dominance on the planet, which allows the humans to continue to evolve and grow as these people grow into about the year 12,000 BC. We have a divide between these two races. There's more of a magical race of creatures. They're kind of more elvy. They have pointed ears. They harness there's some type of great energy, which essentially is Lavos. He's the guy that crashed into the reptilian stronghold. They use that magic to create a dance society. It has flying ships. They float in the skies. Well, there's a bunch of simple humans huddled on the ground. At some point, Lavos escapes this prison. He doesn't want to be used by these magical creatures. Escapes, destroys their system, and leaves the human race once again to kind of rebuild itself, which then takes us to, I want to say, 680. I don't know exactly what's like the point between AD and BC. Like, I'm not sure exactly what that Jesus point in this world is. It takes us to 600 AD, where we see a magical kingdom, or so we see fiends and humans now at war across this kingdom. The fiends seem to worship some magical man named Lavos, and then randomly, we're not sure what happens, but the fiends lose. The fiends are destroyed, potentially by the human army, which takes us to 1000 AD, where our hero Chrono lives in a happy world where the fiends are still existent, but they're kind of a bit more docile with the human society. The society then continues to grow to the year 1999, when Lavos awakes. The human race at this point are living in these domes, scattered throughout the world, being controlled by an AI. When Lavos escapes, the AI shuts down, closes all the domes, and slowly tries to, I think, fight the human population. I think they begin to start trying to create robots to take over the humans and destroy them from themselves, but the humans are able to step up, or maybe the robots do, and eradicate this plan to distinguish them, which leaves us at 2300 AD, the end of time. The planet, now ravaged from the escape of Lavos and the devastation he's caused, leaves humanity clinging for life in these domes. And that's kind of the timeline of Chrono Trigger. How's that?
Yeah, not bad. I actually, before we recorded this, because it's been a while, I did watch a kind of timeline retrospective of how everything plays out.
Okay.
And this makes a lot more sense when it's like laid out linearly, as opposed to like jumping around and telling it kind of disjointed.
Right.
I feel like the first time I played it, I did
I didn't get it at all.
Glimpses.
Yeah. So, me just laying out that timeline, those are kind of the events, those are kind of the time periods you're working from, those are kind of like broad terms, kind of that, that the shot over the bow, just you can kind of take a look, roughly what happens kind of in each age, right?
Yeah.
We now have the ability to jump around and travel and interact with this world. And if you have that as kind of a basis, rather than just kind of like what the game gives you, I'm like, oh, I get it. Because for some reason, I always took the 12,000 BC, where it's like they have technology. I thought that was the future somehow, but it was like after when Lavos came out, but then Lavos comes back, and I'm like, what is happening? But that's what happens.
Yeah.
Okay, sweet.
Pretty cool. Actually, I like the world that they built up. I wish it was a little bit more clear as to what's happening, when, and with who, and what's the point. But yeah.
Oh, I was like, I kind of feel like this playthrough was a bit more jaded. I'd almost should have watched the timeline, then played the game, because jumped back into it, I was also lost. I was like, it's just so confusing. And then you watch something like that, or have someone explain it to you, and you're like, Okay, sweet. So, from our level notes from last show. So, our recap was we woke up, met a girl, traveled in time to save her, created a paradox, and saved a queen. We then traveled to the apocalypse and met a robot, chatted with our dad before heading back to the Middle Ages in search of a frog. And I think I said dad because I thought the man at the end of time was our dad for some reason.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah. But I wrote these notes and I beat the game. So I don't know why I left that in there. Yeah. Anyways, found out that we need a moonstone. Travel into 60 million BC, save some cave people, restore a sword, and fight a mage named Magus. But I think that's kind of where we ended, but I'm just going to keep reading because I summarize a lot more of the game here. So we see Lavos crash into the planet. From here, we head to the year 12,000 BC. Find an ice age and a society of people that have magic and technology. A young boy tells us that one of us is going to die soon. We escape the palace and proceed to 2300 AD to get a spaceship. We find ourselves back in 12,000 BC. We find Dalton in the sky, defeat him, and chase him to the Ocean Palace. At the end, we fight a pair of golems before Lavos attacks us. We are defeated, and before he can finish us off, Magus shows up to take a blast, but Chrono steps in at the last second and sacrifices himself for the team. Oh, that's a fun summary.
Yeah, yep, pretty tragic. We lose our boy, our guy that we've been with since the beginning. So
yeah, cool. Yeah, so that's kind of it.
I think that's lost moment.
And while I was playing this, we got to the Magus part, kind of played through the next little areas. I didn't find anything super difficult. A couple of the bosses really started to kind of grind my gears. There was a Gaia Gigas or something. He was like a big monster before you kind of got into the sky and met kind of the magical technology. Man, he kicked my butt. He just absolutely destroyed me. My team had no benefit. I had to completely change my party, come up with a new strategy, was finally able to defeat him. And then up until this morning of recording, I was stuck on that golem fight. I couldn't beat them. They just kept destroying me. It was the most difficult thing I've ever done, and I was like, I guess I'm just done with this game.
Yeah, you could easily get stuck on a lot of the bosses, because the bosses, the general enemies, super easy, but the bosses, you have to handle them a certain way, and if you do not handle them a certain way, you can get wrecked. So I don't know if it's the golems, but I want to say it's the golems, as they take on different forms of attacks. If you attack them physically, then they'll switch to physical. Then you attack them magically, they'll switch to magic or whatever. And you almost need to delay your attacks. You can't just go through it, because if you delay your attacks and wait for him to switch,
yes,
you can almost time it out, so all the golems do is just end up just switching between their different forms or their different
but they attack
abilities.
you right away, and they do an attack that drops an iron ball, takes half your health. They do that twice in a row, and then they hit you with an elemental attack based on the last element that you hit them with. And every time you change the element, so let's say you have one character attacking with lightning, one with fire, they get an attack based on the fact that the element changed. So essentially, if you have a magic strategy, you have to only be able to pick one element, or every time you change your element, it then attacks you. So you could, it's incredibly difficult. I read somewhere apparently use Luca and Hypnowave, and you put them to sleep, and then you just have Chrono and Isla use thunder attack. She just kind of uses one thunder attack, and it's actually pretty simple. So I beat it this morning, and I was like, neat, cool. So I got to see the Chrono step in, sacrifice himself to Lavos, and I thought, for a game that kind of is ambiguous, right? We have a ton of endings to get through. I was like, is this not almost an ideal spot to kind of just sit and talk and almost pause the adventure, right? I can read through the next 5-6 paragraphs, kind of give you what kind of is left in this game. But then really we should almost jump into the endings and talk about all the different endings that this game provides, just to kind of give us more of a fulfilling experience, right? I know you had alluded to in the last game, play through the story, get the ending that you get, right? Don't chase all the endings, but it's so hard as in a choose your own adventure story such as this, right? how do you talk about every experience and have that kind of shared moment, right? So it's almost kind of more we have to talk about like the nature, the structure of the story, the structure of this experience in a different form than you normally would with a podcast, right? So I kind of thought this was a good point to kind of branch off a little bit. Instead of just giving you like a long, boring, well, and then you do this, and then you do that, and then you do this. Obviously, we have a little bit of it, but if we get kind of through these next couple paragraphs, we can dive into the endings, and then just kind of talk about the fulfillment or lack of fulfillment, right, that Chrono Trigger can provide.
Sounds good.
Cool. So now we have poor Chrono. So Chrono sacrifices himself to save the gang. We are pulled out of the action. The floating island crashes, sending a tidal wave over the land. We wake up in the earthbound hut, go to see the Elder, and Dalton crashes the party. He captures us and takes us aboard his ship. We have to escape the prison, get our equipment back, and make our way to the wings. Here we fight a golem, and then attacked by Dalton in the epic. Things go south, and we end up back in our ship. We can now go back to the earthbound village. We can meet Magus here, and we have two options. Fight him, or have him join your party. Did you kill him?
I did not. I wanted him to join my party, obviously.
Yeah, smart. Well, then you don't have a tough boss fight, and you get like a powerful mage character, so it makes sense.
Yeah, sometimes taking the mercy route works out better.
Yeah, sure. And weirdly enough, I kind of remember from our first playthrough pretty vividly, more towards the end of this game, right? So the Ocean Palace, I knew there was a long elevator, I knew there was a bunch of fights. I was like, and then we fight through a ship, and we have to fight a guy, and then I kind of like, and then I think there's like one thing and the game's over. So I kind of was expecting, I was like, based on just the difficulty I'm having, do I really want to just like struggle and grind through like 5 more bosses to just find out that I need to grind a bunch to beat the end boss? I chose, I was like, meh. Not really. But what do we do now? So Tyson had Meg just join us. So the Ocean Palace rises from the depths and becomes the Black Omen, which is the end dungeon. So we can go on and fight Labos right now. We can fight through the Black Omen, or we can save Chrono and then do one of these two things. So we go to the end of time and talk to the old man to get the Chrono Trigger. We go to 2300 AD and talk to the blue thing in the Keeper Dome. Get the Chrono Doll from the festival at the beginning and head to Death Peak. There are some tough Lavos spawns here, but for the most part it isn't too bad. At the peak, there's a cutscene in which we save Chrono. So essentially we switch back in time, use the Chrono Trigger, are able to pause, put the Chrono Doll in the place of Chrono and switch back, thus saving our hero. And I believe his like blue soul returns to him. So exciting.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. They're like, we do just have access to time, and then you can find that little doll and all of a sudden save your buddy, and you're like, good. Those couple hours I was worried.
Yeah, it is kind of a cool head fake. It is the fact that you can, I don't know, it's a tough one. Recently in my life, as we're kind of just in real life, I've played through Final Fantasy VII Rebirth a little bit, right, which kind of deals with the aspect of that Final Fantasy story of Aerith's death, right, and just the impact that had, and the gaming impact from 1997, that the death of one of the main characters really rocked and was a big monumental narrative shift. Whereas 2 years earlier, Chrono does die, but I guess because you can save him, it kind of takes away the brevity. And it's the same thing I mentioned during our Final Fantasy VII podcast with like Final Fantasy IV, because people die all the time, but just come back. Oh no, Rydia, where did you go? Oh, you just come back as like, instead of a little girl, as like kind of a sexy teenager. Oh, okay, neat. What about Yang? Remember when he sacrificed himself? Oh, he's just in a mech later. Oh, good. Whew. Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
Ooh.
And then it's what, Yin and Yang, they also sacrifice themselves and turn to stone, and then it's like,
it's
they're
like,
unstoned.
No, they're not Yin and Yang. Yin and Yang's the martial. They're like Palom and Porum, or
that's the ones. That's the ones.
See the useless facts I have in my head. So it is just kind of that interesting. I don't know. It's the cheap out. The let's kill a character. You can come back though, right? Unlike some games, I guess that's maybe why Final Fantasy VII was such a landmark experience, right? But no, getting your main character back in this one, excellent. It's what you should do. And now you're kind of at a point where game's over, right? You got to just beat Lavos somehow. So you can do tons of side quests, get new equipment. Probably what you have to do beat this game and be strong enough. Lots of the side quests involve kind of added extra stories to each character, so which is awesome. So if you have a favorite character, or you're just like, I don't really care about any of these characters, it would be a good thing to do, jump in and be like, oh, that's how Robo came to be alive, or like, oh, this is the problems with Luca. In fact, I think you can even change some of their histories because now you have this Chrono Trigger. You can go back and change certain events, so you can kind of write everyone's futures, make it kind of like a brighter experience, more fulfilling, more reward for helping you save the world from Lavos, right? And apparently I said I will go back and play all these, so I didn't do it last time we did it. I didn't do it this time either. Interesting. I also didn't play through the Black Omen. I just went to the end and fought Lavos. Cool. Good job, me. So
yeah, you know what? Sometimes you're like, I'm just gonna wrap this up. A lot of things on the plate. Sometimes it's better to just kind of get them done. Know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. So, and from there, again, like I said, Lavos, you fight Lavos. He can be tough if you've played through all the side quests, built up your team. There's 2 stages. It's kind of the big shell, and then there's kind of the anticlimactic inside, where he's kind of a weird, like, alien. And there's these little balls, and like there's a theory that maybe the balls are Lavos or something.
Yeah.
And then,
it's it gets muddy real quick.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So then I woke up in this ending, apparently, when we played last time. In my bed, was called the King. Turns out it was just a joke, so my friends could thank me. We ended up enjoying the carnival, and then had a sad farewell. But our mom went back in time, and we fly around in the epic. Neat. Cool. All right. Endings of Chrono Trigger. So approximately that's kind of how the game works. How many endings do we have? I think we have 15 of them. Is that right?
Something like that.
Something like that. I see 13 endings, but ending 1 is how like Tyson makes lists. There's 5 parts. So, okay. Neat.
Yep. Basically.
Yeah. Let's see. So the list of endings. So we have bad endings. So the Apocalypse. Method, any except the Ocean Palace and then lose to Lavos. So this ending, you'll witness in real time the events recorded on the computer of 2300. Lavos erupts the ground and sprays flaming spires through the air, which rain down, causing untold destruction. Okay, that doesn't sound like a very good ending.
No, it's definitely not.
Defeat Lavos, Rio Crier. So number 1 is Beyond Time. Maybe should have done more like research instead of just vaguely reading through a Wikipedia article. Okay, all right. Afterwards, the king presents Marl with a ball, Nadia's ball, and will replace the 400-year-old Lean as Bell. Okay, so Beyond Time. Floating away. Method. You can use the winged epic to reach Lavos. Okay. Different method. Follow the... Oh my goodness. No. I thought this would be more entertaining, or like they'd be better summarized. Boy, was I wrong.
No, and that's the problem with the endings, I find, is it's like they're just kind of like, if you do this random thing, you get this ending, and like it's not succinct, and that's why it's kind of always hard to just like tackle these and talk about them. Which is why I was like, just kind of play through them and get the ending you get. Know what I mean? Because it's just like they are. So like, there's 13 of them. Uh-huh. Some are like goof endings. Some are like serious endings. Some depend on if you have Magus. Some if you let Magus die. Some are if like you fight Lavos early, because you can kind of fight him at like any point in time. And if you die to him, that's how you get like one ending.
Yeah, so I found kind of a summary. So we'll work through this, we'll get through that, and then we'll kind of jump back into whatever we're doing. So the Beyond Time summary. So the ending occurs when you defeat Lavos after restoring Chrono from his presumed death at the Ocean Palace. The story continues with Chrono waking up to a soldier, then a celebration with his friends and family, and a final farewell as the telepod before the epic departs through time. Okay, so we have the reunion timeline. So the ending happens if you defeat Lavos before Chrono is restored. The party ends up at the end of time, and everyone is lying on the ground. Okay.
Yep.
So the Dream Project. So this is the more difficult ending to achieve. It involves defeating the Dream Devourer, which is Lavos fused with Scala after experiencing the dimensional vortex. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
All right. This ending is triggered by using the bucket at the end of time as soon as you get there. And that's the good night ending.
Okay.
The legendary
Makes
hero.
sense.
Yep. So this ending can be obtained as soon as you return to 600 AD for the second time. So obviously that has something to do with Frog.
Okay.
Yep. Unknown pass. So this ending is achieved by defeating Lavos after obtaining the hero medal from Tata. Okay, all right.
Sure.
Dino Age. This ending occurs after defeating Lavos following Magus's defeat. So dinosaurs come back?
Must
fun.
be. You must fail before like you stop all the dinos, but I don't understand how that prevents Lavos from smashing into them. So
Yeah, like
sure.
they should be dead, I suppose. Okay, the float away. So this ending occurs when you defeat Lavos using the epic and end up floating away on balloons.
Okay.
Okay. And then this ending involves Chrono waking up. The successor of Guardia. So this ending involves Chrono waking up from a stay of execution, learning about Luca's temporal tampering to show the king their accomplishments, and experiencing a celebration at the Millennial Fair.
Okay.
Neat. Cool. All right. So that is the endings of Chrono Trigger. So yeah, like Tyson mentioned in our last podcast, his recommendations, they're a little bit all over the place. Probably, I mean, even watching on a YouTube video, I'd be like, I guess that's it. They don't really fulfill too much. They don't really like wrap up the story, and kind of alters my view on this game. Like I view Chrono Trigger as a really cool, ambitious, over-the-top sci-fi fantasy merging epic story. However, it has flaws. It definitely has some flaws. The combat system can be issues, right? Bosses can just destroy you. They come at you so fast, so hard, they hit you 2 or 3 times, you can't recover. I find that characters that heal don't heal well enough, don't heal fast enough. And then apparently, if you Google stuff enough time, right, you can figure out maybe a strategy that works. But again, can be kind of difficult. And then the story overall just kind of gets muddied because I don't know what am I achieving, what am I going for, what am I striving for, what's my like. You don't want me to grind, but you also don't want to give me a destination and have good conveyance. So you want me to walk all over the world so that I just naturally grind because of all the walking and exploring, which is fine. But then like, what ending am I going for? What's the good ending? What reward is there? And I think I struggle in that point. So coming back to our top 10 lists that we've been doing this year, when we got to the Super Nintendo, I kind of clumped Earthbound, Final Fantasy VI, and Chrono Trigger together. I put Chrono Trigger at the bottom of that pairing, and I believe that's where it pairs. I don't think it's the most rewarding, fulfilling experience, and narratively, it just kind of falls apart at the end. It's good, it's awesome, it's neat, it's cool that they have all these extra endings, but I just don't know if it's the cleanest experience, at least in my mind. So that's kind of my current thoughts after playing through this experience. Again, I'm shocked. I'm shocked how I feel and how I can view it as I'm like, it's there, I get it. It's not for me. I don't know. I'm not the biggest Chrono Trigger fan apparently.
Yeah, I think it has some peaks and valleys. The story and the multiple endings is, in my opinion, it's if I need to watch a timeline to be like, oh, that's what we're doing. I feel like the narrative structure and the endings of the game is kind of like, it just isn't super cohesive, which is funny because like one of my praises in part 1 of this was I love how it's just like it seems so tight where like the story is like you go beat to beat to beat to beat and you're always like doing something and it's like progressively like you're moving along and it's clipping along. It's super fun. I think adding the multiple endings, it's like it's a neat idea in concept, but in like practicality, it just like kind of falls apart. And same thing, like if they didn't spend so much time futzing about with the multiple endings, maybe they could have made like the story a little bit more cohesive and make more sense. So
well, and I just and like think of how many games have tried the multiple endings, and it does always feel kind of, I don't know, just not as rewarding, right? I want you to give me a narrative, right? I want to play through a narrative, more experience and like experience the world. Even just I was looking at some games like Fallout, Fallout's a series that has multiple endings. You can kind of pick a path, but really you just pick a series of quests that gets you to an end goal. And it's more of a branching, forking path. I'm like, oh, okay, well, this wouldn't have happened if I went that way. And like, this decision affects this. And that kind of gives me this conclusion. I got to go back and replay this to get that conclusion, right? So it is a good game. It's a fun experience, right? Going back and ribbon through all the characters. Maybe that's the answer. I have to spend the time, do all the side quests, fall in love with these characters. But I just don't get it sometimes.
Have you ever played the Nier series, like the Nier Automata, Nier Replicant, or anything like that? Okay, so the way they do their kind of multiple endings is like you play through the game and you get an ending, and that's ending A. Then you play through it again, and a bunch of things have changed. Like you just keep playing the same save file, but like you'll replay parts of the game, and it'll be like you get a different story or different perspective from somebody else, and that's how you get the B ending. And then you do some other things, and that's how you get the C ending. And if you collected all the swords by the end of the C ending, you get the D ending, which is like the final ending. I think that almost would have worked better, where like had they let you fall into the traps of like, oh, you go fight Lavos and you die, that's how you get an ending, and then like you continue on from there, but like you can't, okay, don't go fight Lavos, go do something else. Like it would have been like, it could have like worked a little bit better. Like I just like how the Nier series handled all their endings, where like I have one save file until like save C, and save C I have the option to like do one or two things, and if I do option A, it ends the game. So you have to use your save file to get option B, and that's how you finish off the good ending of the game. But it's like, I feel like they could have worked that a little bit better, and just like had you like integrated the endings, and then just like kind of restart them as like, okay, now here you go.
And even the fact that like New Game Plus exists, right? Like you're kind of going off of, they already kind of had that alluded to, right? You beat the game once, you can kind of pick it up, and I guess you play through the whole game to get the different ending. And maybe that was like that's the New Game Plus of it. But again, then you're still running through the same kind of steps again and again and again and again, right? And I just, like, maybe because it is such a clean, small world, and once you're overpowered, right? Those first areas are probably very simple. One attack, oh, everyone's dead. Okay, you have all your equipment, all your stats, all your kind of techniques, right? So maybe it does kind of just make the game a breeze. And it's one of those things, had you played it, and it's one of those free time millionaire as your children, and you can kind of play it again and again and again. Maybe you have different feelings, right? And it's one of those things, because I don't have the nostalgia for it. I didn't spend all the hours. I didn't kind of get lost in this world. Right now, it doesn't capture me, right? So I'm like, oh, neat. Will I go back and kind of grind out the end of this game? I probably will finish a couple of YouTube videos that I'm working through, right? Now that I'm kind of get kind of the ending, watch a timeline or something, and say, oh, okay, I've had a fulfilling experience, and put it to the side for now. Say, yeah, it's just not for me. Not in my wheelhouse. Not something I really need. So cool. Your current thoughts and my current thoughts. Fun. What did I say back in the day? Let's say I really like this game. This was the first game in a while I was looking forward to playing. Okay, I'll get my chores done, pick it up as a treat. I'll go back and play this title to experience different endings and extra story told in the side quests. No, you won't. You're a liar.
Yeah. Yeah, it's... I don't know. I don't remember what I said, because I never wrote notes.
Yeah.
But I feel like I still like this game. Yeah. I just think that the story is a bit of a mess. And, you know, with the age of YouTube or whatever, like, you can easily just, like, fill in those gaps. And you're like, oh, I get it. It's fun. But just playing the game in a vacuum, it's like, it's good. It has some issues with the story and the multiple endings, and it just feels not super fulfilling. And that's the problem. It's like, this game should be super rewarding. Like, when I play old RPGs, I get that feeling of like that sense of like, I accomplished something. Whereas it feels like this, you're like, I feel like I missed a bunch of things.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have that by the time I like put down the controller of like, I missed things. I'm going to go to YouTube and watch a bunch of YouTube videos to catch up on all the stuff I missed. I shouldn't feel like that's like the solution. The solution should be play the game. So
Well, yeah, that's yeah, and I think just overall presentation. It's there. I get it. I understand people that love it, but it is one of those. What do I do? Where do I go? Or play this game without a strategy guide and then run all over the world, and then you kind of naturally be strong enough and find a bunch of equipment, and it'll be more rewarding. So it's just, I don't know. It's not the experience for me. This isn't kind of what I'm looking for in a game at the moment, right? And yeah. I'm going to keep talking in circles, obviously. That's what I'm planning to do. Hooray, yeah. From there, though, I've got a report card. It's pretty exciting, so I'm going to do that. I've got a couple, are you buying it? We kind of give our final something about Chrono Trigger, and then we'll get into our reflection of our last 50 shows, from 100 to 150. Oh, baby. So a report card for Chrono Trigger. The story. So I said A+. It was very well developed and stays focused on topic. From the get-go, we must defeat Lavos. Okay, yeah, I could see that kind of point of view, and presentation is where it lacks, but story apparently an A+. Cool.
Yeah, good structure of a story. It's just like not presented appropriately.
Sweet gameplay, B+. A lot of fun. Nothing was too skill heavy. Rather, the challenging was in combat. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, boss battles.
Yeah.
Boss battles.
Yeah. Oh, you didn't get this one technique that the internet recommends you did and do the specific challenge, or go to the arena at the end of time and fight a bunch of this and get this armor? I'm like, no, I didn't get the special armor, obviously, game.
Yeah. Something that's going to come back and bite you.
You know what? And that's one of the things in video games I really hate. So playing the DS version, there was something called the Arena of Ages. So you can just go in and you can just battle guys and they get rewards, right? You just take those to the game, and then you have now you have lightning armor. I don't like that mechanic. It's very similar to the battle frontier in Pokemon games. I have no interest in that. I have no interest in having to go to a different arena that's kind of not canon. It's just there to collect items and rewards and challenges. It's not for me. I don't know. I just never I'm never tempted to go to those areas. I'm like, man, I'll just skip it.
Yeah.
Except when you get critical need to know. I mean, it's the same with Pokemon. Oh, you can't get this trade belt unless you go and do this battle tower and this, and you got to grind to make sure you train your Pokemon. It's just not for me. I'm glad it's there. I'm glad it exists. I'm glad people can sink their teeth into it. I don't really care. Control. So very well thought out and constructed. Okay, game length. It was a perfect length with multiple endings. Are so worth it. No, they weren't.
I was going to say, are they?
You're lying. And then an A for music. The game's music is amazing. Yes, I will say some of the tunes, the themes, the score of this game is pretty exceptional, right? A couple of the beats they have out there, from the main theme to Magus's fight to some of the boss fights to just the overworld themes, are adorable, delightful. Might be some of the best. What RPG has better music than this?
Final Fantasy VII.
Right, but that's almost like a next gen. But I would agree. I think Final Fantasy VII probably has better songs, but this is right behind it and pretty close. It's a 1A, maybe 1B situation, a 1 versus a 2. Not that far of a gap, right? So the fact that you're pumping out these songs, right? Before now, Super Nintendo does do some songs, right? We both love Diddy Kong Racing for the music. I think that one's just an incredible soundtrack. So Super Nintendo can do pretty good, decent sound. So it's not that shocking, I guess, that we find a game or two that you're incredible.
Yeah, well, and I think I said even in the first part, where a lot of these songs feel like they're this is a beta version of Final Fantasy tunes. Mm-hmm. They just they work really good. They hit really good. They got good melodies. Yeah, the soundtrack of this game is top notch. You get. Wait a minute.
I think that's how, after big battles and Rebirth, that's how they play it. Some of the characters Barrett will just randomly sing that song. I'm like, cool, that's fun. That's a fun way to get that into the game. And then I have original cost and then digital cost. So C-. So this title is worth way too much. Reproduction card is decent price, but the original is going for something you get when you win the lottery. $300. Could you imagine spending that on something crappy that's just on a shelf?
Yeah, I've never done something like that.
See, I'm telling you, we just became assholes in this show. We used to be like, this was too much money. And now we look at $300. I'm like, oh, I just do that sometimes when I'm talking to you on this podcast because I have an eBay addiction. What the hell's wrong with us?
Yeah. I may have spent like almost that on a new keyboard that I didn't need because I wanted it.
Such assholes. All right. And then a digital copy. Let's see. Digital copy. I said, $10 is okay, but since it isn't available in the eShop, I think that's Nintendo eShop. This was back when PSN exists, but I don't know if PSN exists anymore, so you probably can't get it. Wow, that sucks. How about an R? You buying it? So I got 2 of them. So Chrono is God. Okay. Let's see where this goes. The story has a lot to do with the Bible. What are the 3 names of the wise men from the Bible? Balthasar, Melchior, and Gaspar. They're the 3 wise men in this game. We never said that part. So there is so during 12,000 BC, there's an incident with time travel where a young boy, who's like the queen's son, gets sent to the year 600 and grows up to be the mage Magus. Balthazar, Melchior, and Gaspar are 3 of like the wise magical teachers, and they get sent to different areas. So Melchior gets sent to the year 1000 and makes weapons. Gaspar gets sent to the end of time, where he just watches the time gate. And then Balthazar gets sent to the year 2300 and lives in a protodome where he puts his brain into like a blue goo and makes a time machine.
As one does.
Yeah. Okay. So that there was those events, and you meet these 3 characters through time, and they all come from the time schism in 1200. Again, you didn't pick that up playing the game. Weird. Anyways, let's see. So we're put on trial. Oh, just like Jesus, betrayed by a friend and killed, only to be the resurrection. That's very Jesus-y. Okay. There is a story about a red dwarf star falling from the heaven. If it hit Earth and turned the water into wormwood, sound like Lavos. Also, there is a mention. It's mentioned in an episode of Dexter. Oh, wormwood. Okay.
Dexter reference.
And
Red Dwarf star, like Red Dwarf, the TV show.
No, that's not. That doesn't. No, that's nothing. Don't pull some other nostalgia into this stupid thing that I mentioned. Just say no. That's not right. I don't know where you got this from.
That's not right. That you know what? I like the Red Dwarf reference, but everything else I disagree on.
Yeah. I mean, okay, cool. I mean, they took Tyson likes Red Dwarf. He gets resurrected. They threw some
good show.
They threw some wise men Bible, whatever. Okay, cool. Probably how this game was developed. Some kid in Japan had a Bible, took a couple things, and said, "There, now Christians will be happy."
Yeah, well, it's like any of the Square Enix or Squaresoft stuff. Like they were like, you know what we need to do? I don't know. We need to name a bunch of things. What are we gonna do?
Well, they just take
pull out the Bible. That's a hilarious book. Let's read this.
And they just take iconography from our world, right? Like this world kind of is similar to ours, and there's like this weird 0 date for some reason, and we get to like the year 1999.
There's cavemen. There's dinosaurs.
Yeah, like it's vaguely Earth, but not Earth, and they just kind of changed things. So yeah, they use kind of our calendar for a reason, and just shields with crosses on them are just, that's kind of part of our history and so ingrained in a big part of our world that it doesn't mean it's like, oh, see, it's Jesus. No, they just, crosses just exist in old pictures of stuff. So that's yeah. Okay. How accurate is Chrono's time trigger? Or what? Chrono's time trigger. What does that mean? I don't know what that means. How accurate is Chrono Cross's time travel? That probably makes a bit more sense. Time gates take you from time to time. Okay, so it could be a wormhole, right? Bends around gravity, and then our love saves us from Matthew McConaughey. So the epic travels around the world. So when you see it, kind of goes in 3 seconds, which is 40,075 kilometers, which is 13,358 kilometers per second, or 1.35 times 10 to the minus 6 meters per second. Okay. Theoretically, traveling faster or as fast as light would create some type of time travel, but the speed of light is 2.9 times 10 to the minus 8 meters per second. So it's like
much faster than that.
So it's like a little bit half. Yeah, we're missing a whole 0. You need to like double it. So not even really close. I mean, it's still pretty fast. So.
Yeah, but I also
I feel like I might have stolen that from like a game theory show.
yeah,
Yeah.
probably at some point. I don't know. It's like the time travel. It's like wouldn't continents shift? Wouldn't locations shift?
Well, they do
like
sort of. The world does change.
Aren't we drifting through space slightly? Like, are we not? Or does the Earth stay a constant distance from the sun? Am I wrong? Am I right? I have no idea. I'm not a scientist.
The Earth does. Well, it doesn't. It goes in an elliptical orbit. So sometimes we're closer. So in the summer, we're a little bit closer to the sun. And then the wintertime, we're like a little bit further away. So there's like kind of, to answer your question, we kind of don't go in a circle. I don't know exactly what you were asking, to be honest with you. You started asking me space questions.
Well, I was asking, like, relative to the sun, are we, like, 6 million years ago, are we closer or are we further away?
Yeah,
like,
no, we're probably...
Would the time travel just, like, end up like, oh, I'm 30 feet underground?
Well, I mean, that's probably why time travel doesn't exist, because we're actually traveling in kind of a corkscrew pattern. So the sun is traveling through space towards some unknown direction, being pulled by some type of gravitational field, and we're kind of like spiraling around it. So if you were to draw it out, it would look like we were kind of doing like a big corkscrew throughout the universe. So you're right, traveling back and forth, you would like the space dimension, you would never be on Earth, and we move at such a speed that as soon as you traveled, like you would end up in like 1 second how fast you're moving, like 3,000 kilometers out in space. Right. So
yeah, see, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah, but that you can't think that big concept, and I mean, that's why time travel can't happen, because our brains aren't they can't comprehend these giant concepts of what gravity and space and like how big the universe is, and right, because we just have kind of our own experiences. But if you think about it in like the big cosmic scale, that's probably why time travel will never happen. Mentioning other than that,
probably
time travel, I could see time traveling happening in the world, because it does seem like Lavos is this giant, magical, cosmic, disruptible force, right? Which kind of potentially has some type of like cosmic shifting abilities, right? Between that and like say the power of the Moonstone, with the power that's fused into the Shala crystals or whatever that Marl, like, they kind of talk it away, and you're like, oh, I guess if there was a big giant magical being in the planet, time travel could happen. Cool. And it's all kind of like reflected around his existence, right? Like the key points. Why does 60 million BC so important? Why is that a nexus point in time travel? Well, it's because that's where the Lavos crashed, right? Magus calls him out in the future. That's why that's a significant point. The year 1999 when he erupts and destroys, right? Like they kind of hit like the nexus points, these big kind of time dilemmas. Very similar to like our theory that there's like or maybe my theory that there's like some type of nexus point around the building and existence of the DeLorean time machine in Back to the Futures, which is why all those kind of seems like its existence creates adventure, which ultimately leads to its destruction. And that's just almost like the nature of time travel, is it just kind of, if it did exist, it would kind of exist in these like singular pockets throughout the world, and ultimately revolves just around itself. If that makes sense.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes. Well, also, as the dean from Community said, writing about time travel is hard.
Yeah, it is. It is. What's the other point I have? I'll sound smart. Did you know that a fourth dimensional being would look at a slinky and just see a straight line? There you go. And that's how we end our 150th show of Podtendo, talking about slinkies.
And time travel.
It's kind of fun little concept. So yeah, so that is wraps up with Chrono Trigger. Did you get to say everything you wanted to say? Yeah, give or take.
Yeah, for the most part. Like, I mean, great game.
Yeah.
I don't hold it as high as other couple games. Not saying it's a bad game. I think it's a great game. It just kind of has some gaps.
Yeah, no, I agree. I don't have quite the nostalgia jumping back into it. It's an experience. It's an experience for sure. But that wraps up 150 shows. So congratulations, us. We've been slowly celebrating ourselves kind of over the year with all our top 10 lists. That's kind of always a little reflection that we've been doing this for 10 years. Getting back into this one, kind of a big monumental show, right? We just hit kind of our 10-year anniversary. We just hit show 150. It's kind of a fun little celebration summer. So with that being said, now we're done with Chrono Part 2. We're going to look back at our shows 100 to 150. So I actually went out of our way and I listened to what did show 100? What did our 100th show retrospective look like? And what we did was we did kind of a top 5 worst games. Then we did a top 10 best games. Tyson started out the list by saying my number 10 games are Link to the Past, Link's Awakening, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask. So I was like, okay, so all the Zelda games. Yep, okay, perfect. And then number 9 was every Mario game, from Mario 1 to Mario 2 to Mario 3. I couldn't possibly choose to Super Mario World, to Link, to Super Mario 64, to Mario RPG, to Paper Mario. And I said, well, that's a lot of games. Like, you just picked 12 games, and you only went through 2 slots. And you're just like, that's just normal. So...
so that's how I make my list.
And if you listen to any of our lists this year, I was like, well, he hasn't changed. So
it's true. It's just like, I'm gonna have 48 slots for a top 10 list.
And I'll just make it a top 10 by
not
using
how top 10 lists work.
No, not at all. I'm like, I guess. You're like, and every time we played this series, okay, that's perfect. Good job. Good editing. Just kidding. So I think what we're going to do today, I have a list of every game that we played, because we did kind of a couple little sideshows, stopped here and there. If anyone is familiar with my old hockey podcast that I once did, maybe no one. We had an option.
I am.
We didn't want to talk about it. We say pass. So we say pass, move on. Don't have to say more than that. So I think we're going to do the pass rule. So if you want to pass on anything, say pass. We just move on. Starting at, they're not numbered, so don't get lost in the numbering. We're going to roll through a big list of games. I don't know how many it is. We'll see how it works. Starting off with Star Fox 64.
Ooh. Pass.
Yeah, I'm close to a pass, I would say. It was one of the first, one of the best. It hit space arcade shooting pretty well on the home console, actually. Not a terrible first effort.
Yeah, I mean, it's Star Fox.
Yeah.
It's the same game. It's just slightly prettier.
Yeah, pretty much. How about GoldenEye was one of our next shows. So GoldenEye.
James Bond, I love this game. I play it from time to time.
Okay.
What can I say?
Yeah, big landmark game. Huge for, if you were children at that point, multiplayer, right? Multiplayer kind of blew up just off the amount of hours as children. If you had an N64, 4 controllers, at least 4 friends, this was afternoons, right? This was, and we see it still today. Call of Duty, why does it exist? Because GoldenEye kicks ass. Can we get the combo of Metroid Zero and Metroid Fusion?
I seem to remember really enjoying these games. They might be some of my favorite Metroid games.
Okay. Zero Mission is just a clean, crisp retelling of the original Metroid game, right? You mentioned that was one of your favorite NES games, so I imagine going to something like this, where it's just a bit more kind of fleshed out, would be fun. And Fusion, I don't know if I liked Fusion as much, but Fusion was one of those weird games where you kind of had to own a Game Boy Advance and a link cable and a GameCube and Prime, and then you could unlock things in Fusion, and it was like more fulfilling of an experience.
Yeah. I feel like it was definitely one of those ones where you're just like, you needed all those attachments. This was the age of attachments.
So so it's a fine game, but as you play through it, it gets frustrating because you don't have the attachments. And you're like, I see how this works. Final Fantasy VIII is next on our list.
Boo. That's all I have to say.
I'm also going to pass. And I might pass on the Legend of the Mystical Ninja for the Super Nintendo.
Yeah, I think we just played it just to play it.
Yeah. Just because I really wanted to get to Mystical Ninja for the Super Nintendo or the N64. And I was like, this is a game that kind of exists. Like, maybe we should talk about this first one and see where it came from. It could have been skipped.
Yeah. I mean, it's fine.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say is it was fine. Mystical Ninja way better.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, much better. We'll get to that later, though. Then we did kind of a trilogy of X-Men games. So for some reason, I think while we were just kind of doing a retrospectives, we had a little bit of a break. We're like, we should talk about old X-Men games, get into the cartoons, the comics. And we looked at X-Men for the Genesis, X-Men 2 for the Clone Wars for the Genesis as well, and then X-Men on the Game Gear.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for these games. I know they're deeply flawed and kind of crappy, but I'm a sucker for them. So
Oh, I think
yeah,
X-Men 2 Clone Wars on the Genesis is probably one of the best X-Men games that exists, right? Outside of the arcades or the fighters. It gives you a fun experience that makes use of all your kind of favorite X-Men's abilities. And I will always have a soft spot in in my heart for the Game Gear, even though I know it kind of sucks. But in terms of Game Gear games, like this one, Jurassic Park, that's all you really need.
just the soundtrack
Yeah,
alone.
yeah, it's worth the trip. Army Men, Sarge's Heroes, pass.
Yeah, pass.
Okay. Metal Gear Solid.
Ooh, wow. What more can I say? It's one of my favorite games.
Yep.
I've recently got back into playing them.
Okay.
It's addicting, and
Yeah.
I love it. And this damn game will keep getting me hooked.
I don't know the exact year off the top of my head. 97, 98, maybe 98, I'm thinking. Landmark achievement in video game storytelling. It took that kind of that big console leap, right? Whichever that PlayStation was, the N64 kind of era, and gave us a full-on cinematic experience where you could have a friend come over, you could beat the game, and you could spend 10 hours being taken into this world of espionage and magic, and it just, yeah, kind of blows you away. The rest of the series, it's things. Until we play Metal Gear Solid 3, Snake Eater. That might be fun.
Maybe the start of the Kojima cult for a lot of people.
Yeah, I could see that. Okay. I'm going to have a pass, I think, for ActRaiser.
Yeah, pass for me too.
Okay, go.
I really like thinking about that game, you know?
You never think about... Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a weird top-down Sims role-playing kind of god simulator / action game.
Yeah, that wasn't very good at anything.
No, it kind of just did stuff, and like I know I had a remastered copy which cleaned some stuff up, but it's different. It's not for me. Yeah, again, one of those things. I'm like, it's interesting experience. If they refined it, they could make a really good version. I don't think it's that. Golden Sun, we played that, and we actually quit playing Golden Sun 2, so I'll throw a pass on that guy.
Yeah, pass for me too. It's just one of those things where you're just like,
just don't care. Yeah.
It's a mediocre RPG.
Yeah. See,
there's a billion of them.
So there were some good ones, right? We started off this list kind of with some good, and we're like, oh, we're going to talk about these like 60, maybe even like 65 games. So we kind of go through everything here. Oh man, how are we going to get time? And then you hit these streaks, and you're like, we don't have to talk about these at all. Like Gauntlet 64. Pass?
It was fine.
Yeah,
it was fine.
It's fine. I played back in the day, and like going back and playing it now, you're like, oh yeah, sure. Cool.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Neat. How about Zombies Ate My Neighbors?
You take this one because I know you're a fan.
Yeah. I one of the first games I played, I definitely only had a brief glimpse with this kind of experience. Loved the aesthetics that was created, right? Just like I said, that the environment, that Twilight world that they create with kind of just the color palette. It's absolutely adorable. It's great. It's a stick shooter. It's hard. It's very tough. It's a challenge. If you play it long enough, you can get pretty good. Like at one point, I was able to get to like level 13 or something out of 40 or whatever it was. And if you play it enough, like when I was playing it for a bit, that was a good time. Good time. Very challenging, but if you throw it on like at a party with some people for a couple minutes, it'll be like, oh yeah, neat, until the ants kill you because you don't have the bazooka.
Yeah. Or you didn't have enough ammo because you didn't remember to farm it or something.
Exactly. Or you didn't know how to cheat or get around the poison, or you ran through those like spikes. It's an experience. You gotta just dive into it, have fun, really. About Castlevania 64, pass.
Yeah, pass.
I remember not having fun with it. Did we beat the game? I think I did beat the game because I remember like you have to fight. It's not Dracula. It's like a French guy or something, right?
I think you're right.
Maybe.
But honestly, it's just like such a vague part of my memory. You're like, I've just blacked this out, either for my own sanity or because it was boring.
Yeah. Okay. How about Mario Golf 64? Mario Tennis 64?
I like Mario Golf 64.
Okay.
Solid game. Mario Tennis it's a tennis game.
Yeah, I was going to say pass on those. Yoshi's Story?
Yeah, that's a pass.
Yeah, it's also a pass. Donkey Kong Country 3?
Oh, good game.
Yeah.
Good game.
Yeah, not bad.
A lot of fun.
Yeah.
I like the overworld. Yep. Very cool.
Yeah, world's fun to explore. Kind of gives you similar action, but a different combo of characters. And I think we kind of talked about that when we did the Donkey Kong. We could talk about that Donkey Kong trilogy. So we actually went back and played Donkey Kong Country, Donkey Kong Country 2, and Donkey Kong Country 3. And we just found that it's such a nice little trilogy because you get a heavy, you get a speed character, and you get a float character. And they give you each combination over the course of the 3 games. You get a heavy and a float character here. Probably not the best. I definitely think Diddy, with his speed, kind of just helps excel Castlevania or Donkey Kong Country 2 into kind of the upper echelon. But yeah, 3 is not bad. It holds up. Some of the rocks, I think there's like too many rocky areas towards the end of the game. Always like gross, unpleasant browns. Not my favorite.
Yeah, brown's not a color of mine. Yeah. And there's a couple of those like vertical levels where it's climbing mountains. They're just like,
yeah,
I just don't care.
And ropes. There's so much of that. It's just, I don't know. It's not there. How about from there? We go to Shredder's Revenge.
Oh, I had a blast with this game. Yeah, great game.
Yeah.
Very much. Lots of fun. Kind of a comeback to the TMNT franchise for me. I was like, man, I sure do love Turtles in Time, and this gives me Turtles in Time vibes. And then I played as April and just like wrecked house. It was awesome.
Yeah, no, I played through the game a couple times when it first came out, at least 2. Maybe was working on a 3rd attempt. Played through it with my nephew at a Christmas. It was enough that you could kind of play through it in the afternoon. Just kind of run and gun and get through the whole experience. Some replayability, and yeah, fun experience. Sad. It's sad when they make new games that are just kind of like old retro games, and I'm like, this is the best one. They're like, well, what about this turtle game? It's a 3D open world environment, and you can build relationships with different pizza establishments. I just want to kind of watch like the old cartoon / comic and play with like the old toys and remember about Ground Chuck. That's all I want.
yeah, or there's a bunch of fun, not Leatherhead, but I remember there's one that we laughed at the name the one time. You know what? I'm a search it while you go on to the next one.
Okay, perfect. Ground Chuck. Good old Tyson. Nothing like he hears a joke and he's like, wait, I'm gonna try and make a joke too, and then just can't. Just stumbles. It's funny. From there though, we jump into The World Is Not Enough. I don't think I beat this game. I don't think I got to that sub. I don't think I was like, I just don't care. I got stuck in the villa. Pass.
I liked it. But I am biased because it is my one of my favorite James Bond movies. So bias says it's awesome. Reality probably says it's not.
Okay, well then. About Pokemon Diamond and Pearl.
Pass.
Yeah, I also want to say pass because I think what the fuck happens? You fight like a god, maybe? Is that the end? I don't know. Kind of ties into Legends, which isn't very good either. Pokemon. We should play more Pokemon. What's the next Pokemon game? Black and White?
I think so, yeah.
Huh. Cool. Well, Diamond and Pearl, yeah, you just do nothing. Although Black and White, I don't think it's anything that exciting, but maybe we'll get into that at some point. How about Killer Instinct?
I mean, it's fine.
Yeah, it's a thing. Okay. Yeah.
Killer Instinct. It's a game about combos. I just don't. I'm more of a Street Fighter and other franchises.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Link's Awakening HD. I think we played that for the Switch. Cleaned up version. It's cute. It's great. Has kind of that cute little chibi view. If you like Link's Awakening, highly recommend. In fact, actually, I'm helping my nephew. He's got, I think, my copy of it, and he's like, every time he sees me, I help him get through like a different dungeon. Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I love this game.
Yeah.
Great one. Definitely a high mark since we were going through it. And I believe the character, I wasn't making a joke. It was Wingnut and Screwloose.
Oh yeah, sure.
It's like, yeah.
Nice. Okay, so. Yeah. From there, we get to Mega Man's 4 through 6. So we did 3 Mega Man games. I found my spirit animal in Charge Man. He's a train. I love him.
Yeah. You like Mega Man more than I do. So do you got anything else to say?
No, it's probably pretty close to a pass. Like 2 is the best. Charge Man's awesome. And then go play X series. That's probably what you have to say there. Into the Tears of the Kingdom. Pretty fun experience. Came out after Breath of the Wild, which was, I think, one of the biggest shifts in the Zelda franchise from Link's Awakening, Ocarina of Time, right? I think that's kind of, it's the first game. Oh, people know Legend of Zelda. Became kind of household name. Link to the Past knocked it out of the park, made the perfect game almost essentially. Ocarina of Time gave it the perfect translation into the 3D world, which captivated gamers. And up until this game, or sorry, Breath of the Wild, anyways, we did not see any changes in the series. It was kind of stagnant. It was kind of just repetitive. It was kind of just doing the same thing again and again. Finally, they broke away, and then Tears of the Kingdom. One game later, they could have just went right back to the well. They kind of gave you the same world, but they said, what if you could fly now? What if you went into the air? Wouldn't that be fun? Going to the depths? Yeah. Even though the depths are kind of barren, not a lot going on. Not the greatest area. And same with the sky. It doesn't give you that much more, but it was just kind of a nice breath of air. And yeah, fun, rewarding. I know I went through and I beat the whole game and was satisfied. I thought it was really good. So yeah, Tears of the Kingdom, excellent adventure.
Yeah, super fun. I remember like a couple freaky moments, so like when you drop into the depths, you're like, I can't see anything. And then all of a sudden, like some moblins come rolling up on a bone car with a rocket launcher attached to it, and you're like, I'm gonna steal that.
Yeah.
Like it's just like kind of had some ground, like you could build your own like stuff. It was fun. It was kind of, I think,
seemed interactive. The story seemed a little bit lighter than Breath of the Wild, but it was a bit better of a world. And yeah, I will always remember at some point, I don't know how you get the Master Sword, but I wanted the Master Sword, and I was in the middle of doing a dungeon in the sky, and I looked over and I saw the white dragon, and I was like, and I like had this like feverish, used every piece of my arsenal to kind of get over to him so I could find this sword finally. It was great. It was a really good experience. Yeah. Although we didn't ever finish our Chronicle series of either one.
Yeah. We tend to drop off on that. We're more of like a play it, wrap it up, move on. So
yeah,
we're pretty bad at
finishing. Yeah.
doing like, let's do this next part.
Yeah. Okay.
So
about from there we get to Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah, it's a pass.
That's also a pass. Tony Hawk Remaster.
A lot of fun.
Yeah.
Good old, not like grinding down some like handrails. Makes you think like, when you're walking around in real life and see a handrail, you're like, if I was in Tony Hawk right now, I'd totally be grinding down this.
I think I said that at some point. We were talking about the game recently, and I was like, it's one of the best sports games. That and the Wii Sports. I'll give you that. Awesome experience. From there, we get to the Disney Super Nintendo Trio, which includes Jungle Book, Aladdin, Lion King.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pass.
I mean,
but not on Aladdin. Lion King, meh. Right? Like you got to kind of learn how to do the combos and like the grappling. The ending kind of gets tough. Jungle Book, kind of a bland experience. Don't really remember much. You get kind of lost in the weeds. However, Aladdin, I kind of remember liking Aladdin, and I think I actually legitimately beat it because I definitely remember jumping on like Jafar's head when he's a big snake at the end and be like, "Oh, cool! I beat Aladdin. Neat."
Yeah. I mean, they're fine games. But nothing I'm going back to anytime soon, unless I'm like on a Disney kick, which I don't see happening anytime soon.
Yeah, no, I mean that makes sense. Okay, that makes sense. From there, though, we get to Turok.
Yeah, it's a good game.
Okay.
I think frustrating at some points, and like the conveyance of like, no, now you should jump into this lava pit is not clear without a guide. So without a guide, unplayable. With a guide, fun.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I would say I agree with that. That's pretty fair. I'm going to pass. Alien 3. Pass.
Yeah, pass.
Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga.
I think I'd say pass because I just don't remember anything about this game.
Game was relatively kind of fun, cute, not super hard, and then the end boss is like actually quite a challenge and quite difficult. Super Mario RPG.
Oh, fun! A lot of good times.
Yeah.
A lot of good times.
Happy
that it got remastered.
Sure.
Yeah, that was like massive.
One of the things, going back and listening to our first 100 shows retrospective, is just how much has changed. So Mario RPG made our top 10 list. We were like, this is both great. We both played it on this podcast. It was so fun. We wish it was just more accessible though. And I'm like, crazy. And there was another one or two games that we kind of mentioned. We're like, oh, we only wish we could have played. Paper Mario and the Thousand-Year Door. Like, you can now. Wow, the future's great.
Yeah, the remaking, remaster, re-releasing is a nice thing.
Yeah.
It just makes you wonder, like, when are the other ones going to be fixed?
Yeah, okay.
Sucks that we live in this perpetual world of, like, waiting for old things to be more accessible.
Yay. Or you just buy a bunch. That's what eBay exists for, guys. Come on. So you can always tell we do a James Bond game at the start of every year. So as you're going along, you can almost break them into years. So between GoldenEye and World Is Not Enough, that was 1 year, right? So World Is Not Enough to this next game is kind of our next year. And then we're going to get into... And then Perfect Dark. Okay, so James Bond, Everything or Nothing, specifically for the Game Boy Advanced.
I think it's a pass.
Yeah, also pass there. About Metal Gear Solid 2.
I think it's okay. It's not great. I know a lot of like Metal Gear Solid fans love it, and I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to...
Ambitious, but messy.
Pass. It's not... Yeah. I don't think I like it.
That's fair.
Yeah, okay. About Wind Waker.
It's cute. It's cute. It's open world.
Yep.
I think it's just kind of like lacking of things to do or care about.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I agree. I thought it was better before I kind of went in and broke it down, and I kind of have this like nostalgia of what could have been, right? And I dove in while we were talking about it and convinced Tyson that there's an underlying story that is amazing. It's incredible. It's an awesome gaming story. They just didn't get it to us. But they didn't get it to us, right? So you do have to take that for account. Going back and playing it, hard to do. They didn't give us a remaster of 3D on the Switch. But they did on the Switch to give us a GameCube library, so you can actually now play the old non-fast sailing version of Wind Waker.
yeah, like we have the HD version. You're getting the first one and liking it.
Oh, okay. If you guys really like it, maybe you could pay $80 to play Fast Sail. Bastards. Mega Man X, 2, and 3 were our next games. Fun experiences. I remember going through, I think the only time I got stuck was trying to do some of the collectibles at the end, right? Trying to unlock some of the ride armors for whatever reason in Mega Man X3. But other than that, I kind of remember having a good time playing these games. They were fun. They were enjoyable. They're Mega Man games with a little bit more spice. I think these ones, you get kind of fun gadgets. Good times. Always love playing a Mega Man.
Yeah, it's a Mega Man game.
Yeah, okay. How about South Park 64?
Yeah, it's a pass.
Pokemon Snap.
Pass.
Mystical Ninja.
Yeah, good game.
Yeah.
One of the best like 3D adventures with a cute world, great soundtrack, great characters, and a good sense of humor. Fantastic game.
I agree. Yeah, awesome. Sounds beautiful. If you like playing Zelda and you wanted a different Ocarina of Time experience or Majora's Mask experience, specifically on the same system and that same console, I think jumping into Mystical Ninja, you would have you'd enjoy it. To get the fire coins though, on top of one of the little mountains, you have to throw 5 coins into a box to get fire coins, and then you could beat Mystical Ninja and have fun. How about Final Fantasy 9?
Great. One of my favorite Final Fantasy games. Cute world. Great characters like Zidane and Steiner and Dagger, and who doesn't love Vivi? Just like cute, fun world. I think it kind of jumps the rail in the third act where it's like, we're going to space because you're from space and everything's on the moon. And you're like, I know this is a trope in Final Fantasy games, but why?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I was going to say Final Fantasy 9 is, in terms of technical achievement, phenomenal. On the same system that brought us Final Fantasy VII's blockiness and randomness, just as a very clean, beautiful, cohesive sprite work. Modeling is excellent. Phenomenal CGI graphics, right? Groundbreaking. Could have been put closer to like a PS2 than just a PS1, right? So it was kind of that technical mastery of the PS1 on display, but not the most fulfilling. Right, visually it looks great. If you like things that look great, you love this game. But if you want a bit more depth, not quite there. About Goonies 2.
Yeah, pass.
I might have listened to the Goonies 2 podcast this morning. Yeah, pass.
Oh,
It's terrible. We're like, no, you just have to get to the end of the red cave and you fight the skeleton lord, and then you get to the green cave and that's where you unlock this thing. And I'm like, this sounds like gibberish. What were you thinking?
Well, tired of talking about this game. That's kind of just like a
yeah,
it's a mess.
Yeah, okay. About Kirby 64.
Hard pass.
Yeah, pass. Silent Hill.
It's good.
Yeah.
Like, you talk about this one. You love it more than I do.
I think I just talked about it on first couple hours, phenomenal, eerie, creepy experience. Just big enough of and scary enough of a world that it pushes you, and it doesn't seem overwhelming to explore and actually solve all the mysteries and kind of solve the puzzles. Excellent, awesome experience. I'm excited to get more into the Silent Hill world. So Silent Hill 2, coming for you at some point. Wario Land 3.
Pass.
Yeah. Although, playing this game, I've never used a flowchart as a walkthrough before. That was interesting.
Pass.
Okay. Luigi's Mansion.
Yeah, pass.
Tomb Raider.
Pass.
Perfect Dark.
It's good, not GoldenEye, but fun world.
Yeah, the ending, the last couple levels, you're in space and you're fighting aliens. I don't know why that was necessary. Damn you, Final Fantasy!
More or less. And it just like, Rare didn't want to pay the GoldenEye license. They were like, let's make our own GoldenEye with blackjack and aliens.
Okay. Pod Racer.
Pass.
WWF's No Mercy SmackDown.
Pass.
I'm also going to say pass, but like, I didn't regret going back and playing them. They were kind of fun. They definitely like showed me like, pass. Metroid Prime?
You speak about this one more than I.
It is a 3D Metroidvania, right? It's not the greatest, not the cleanest, but technically it is good. Between like Metroid Prime and Wind Waker, one of those games, I'm like, but they look good today. Like, that's the thing. They made a game that held up for 25 years in terms of visual scrutiny, which is absolutely amazing. It's just like they did that so well, they kind of lost something in the world building, right? Like, there's something. So true Metroidvania fan might be like, nah, it's too hard. You have too many hidden secrets for no reason. I'm like, I know, but like, it's just that part. And actually, that stupid what is it? Artifacts? Yeah, artifact collection. Not good. But visually beautiful. Bomberman 64.
Pass.
Super fun, cute, little compact action worlds. If you wanted some classic chibi kind of cute little worlds, you could do worse than Bomberman 64.
Yep.
And then finally, Chrono Trigger.
That was a great game. Yeah. A lot of fun. I think it was good. Mm-hmm. It was good. Yeah. I always enjoy going back and replaying this. Like I said, it just like flies by, and then you're like, whoa, well, like I'm almost done this game.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like, even me playing
like, through it,
and I quit at one point. Well, geez, like getting back into it, I'm an hour away from basically wrapping up the experience for myself, right? At least from what I got last time. So I was like, I thought I bailed way sooner than that. But it is very compact, clean experience. Not for me, right? But I would love to sit and watch videos and hear people talk about it, right? And have the discussion. I just don't think like playing the game, actually my physical hands on it, I don't know if it's as rewarding. Whereas someone like an Earthbound maybe has a bit more grinding at the beginning, but I think the ending's a bit more satisfying, right? It's a bit more mature. It deals a bit more with death, right? It deals with kind of aging. It deals with kind of just bigger themes than I think Chrono Trigger. So that's why ultimately I kind of would lean that. But that wraps up our show. So as we kind of went through these, I don't know, however many games this is, if you were to build a top 10, so just quickly scrolling through this list, like, could you get to 10? 10 that you would be like, these are my top 10. You don't have to say what they are. I'm just going to quickly do this. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, okay. I could do that quickly.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I see a 9 and a 10 here. Oh, there's 9, there's 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so rough and dirty.
Easily.
Top 10 list, just so we can kind of jump back into our 100th show retrospective. We're doing top 10 lists all year. Let's just, so roughly, just kind of looking over the list, I would say Star Wars or X-Men 2 Clone Wars for the Genesis, Metal Gear Solid, Zombies Ate My Neighbors, Shredder's Revenge.
Yep.
I'm going to go with Mega Man for 5 for Charge Man. Just him. Nothing else. The rest of the game, go to hell. Wind Waker, Mega Man X2, Mystical Ninja, Silent Hill, and Metroid Prime.
Okay. See, I went GoldenEye, Clone Wars, Metal Gear Solid, Shredder's Revenge, Link's Awakening, Tears of the Kingdom, Wind Waker, Mystical Ninja, Final Fantasy IX, Chrono Trigger.
Okay, solid. Yeah, no, that's pretty good. So not terrible. There was definitely some down spots, but for the most part, like writing out this list, going through it yesterday as kind of an exercise for myself, I was like, I do feel like we hit a lot more better games than worse games, right? So going forward, going forward, I would love to say we're going to give this show, I think we can get to 200. I think that's fair, right? Maybe at 200 we
easy.
Do something different.
Yeah, maybe we to be like, let's do monthly.
Yeah.
And we're only tackling like 12 games, and then we can kind of really stretch out the GameCube or
exactly, and like maybe
like,
even
like the Half-Life 2s of the world.
And we throw some
like,
retrospective in there once in a while, or like, we're just going to talk about some movies this month. So, but yeah, okay. I think we said that around 100, and we just never ever did anything. So we'll see what 200 looks like.
Yep. Well, it's like you play it by year. We felt like there was a lot more like to cover. So as we're 50 episodes a lot. So we'll see where that gets us.
That's about another 3 years, right? Because if you kind of count like GoldenEyes, right? The 007s, we've got kind of 1, that's 1 year, and then 2, and then 3. So like, yeah, we'll see. Yeah, we could always slow down or do something. I don't know. We're still kind of enjoying it. And we still have a couple old games we would like to talk to finish up this weird retrospective nostalgia oral history of our lives thing that we made.
Yep, that's still going. So.
Still going. A couple more games to hit, and then we'll figure that out. So sweet. So with that, that wraps it up. What are we doing the rest of the summer? Do we know? Does anyone know?
I think we have a idea. We're gonna do like some Zelda.
We got a Zelda game coming
Zelda
up.
Games
what? Oh man,
that we haven't tackled. We're gonna do another Mega Man game, but a different style of Mega Man game. If you know where we're leading,
that's fun. Halloween,
and then Halloween's right around the corner. Okay. Hence why I'm getting some Resident Evil in. Just saying, if anyone is interested, maybe start playing through your Resident Evil collections.
Yeah, maybe look at.
Lord knows they're always on sale, so
that's it.
Buy them, play them.
Can't wait for Code Veronica this fall.
Oh man, it's going to be a blast, and you ruined the surprise.
Yeah, that's it. And then something Mario in November. Although looking at the game we have scheduled, I might be like, I want to play Thousand Year Door instead.
A little bit. We also have a Simpsons game that we're throwing in there just for some fun.
Okay.
And maybe some snowboarding games in case we want to lose some sanity and we're like, let's play a different game.
Okay, cool.
There's got to be another game with some snow in it.
Sure. Cool. So that wraps that up. Awesome. Yeah, congratulations. Good job on 150.
Yes, congrats.
Yeah, just chipping away, grinding at it, and go from there. Sweet. So with that, we'll see you guys next month, August. We'll be back in August for a little bit of Zelda. That's fun.
Yep. Nice. Yep. Should be a good time.
Awesome.
Look forward to it and see you guys then.
Okay. Bye, guys. Welcome to Podtendo, a Nintendo podcast, where they analyze, reminisce, and replay the glory of old Nintendo games.